And we are back. Welcome to this week's Tuesday School, the supplement to Sunday School we're doing here on YouTube. We left off yesterday with the world's first homicide. You wouldn't assume it was possible, but things actually take a downturn from there. God gets so frustrated with the trajectory in which things are headed, he decides to get out his eraser and wipe the chalkboard entirely clean. In this case, the chalkboard was life on Earth, and the eraser was a catastrophic flood. As we always do over here, let's imagine what it would have been like if the principal characters in this drama, God and Noah, were live tweeting as these events took place. God says, "I'm sick of humanity. If it were a college course, I'd go to the registrar's office and drop it so I could get a full refund for those credit hours. But it's not. So I have something else in mind as a response to man's deep-seated wickedness. I'm wiping them all out and starting from scratch. But you, Noah, you're good with me. I'm going to let you live. And yes, there's a catch. I'm going to dictate detailed instructions for the construction of a massive ark that I want you to build. I know you're not in the construction trades, but I know you can get it done. You'll face ridicule and outright opposition, but don't let the law firm of stupid, nosy, and meddlesome knock you off your program. My word is the only certification and work permit you'll need." Noah responds to the call. "Lord, you know I'm 500 years old. But if you want me out there pulling a saw and swinging a hammer, I'll go for it. Just text me the deets." God says, "You're going to make the vessel out of cypress wood. It will have cabins and compartments to accommodate you and your wife, your 3 sons and their wives, and representatives of every species of animal and bird that breathes air. To fit all the living things that will come aboard, make the ark 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. There'll be enough room between its base and its roof for lower, middle, and upper decks. All that space will be just enough capacity for 7 male-female pairs of every kind of clean animal, 1 male-female pair of every kind of unclean animal, and 7 male-female pairs of every kind of bird. Be sure to pack enough fresh water and supplies for your family and all the animals. I'll tell you when you've stocked enough. Every living thing not inside that ark when I bring floodwaters on the earth is doomed, but I will establish my covenant with you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives. The 8 of you will be the sourdough starter from which I'll bake up a new batch of humans more to my liking. My apologies, Lord. Sorry it's taking me so long to complete this ark. 50 years in and I'm barely halfway through. And my neighbors have had it up to here with me in this construction site they call a monstrosity, an eyesore, and Noah's midlife crisis. They know it will be some type of boat, but because I haven't breathed a word to them about your plan to put the whole world deep underwater, they're scratching their heads trying to figure out why I'm building it here. They stay clowning me, asking, "Who builds a ship this far from the nearest body of water?" I just smile and keep swinging my hammer. My sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, have been a big help. But I can't count on anyone else for anything except noise complaints and quote-unquote constructive criticism about my woodworking technique. A week ago, the Homeowners Association sent me a cease and desist notice. I flung it up onto the floor of the middle deck the boys and I are working on right now so I can read it after the floodwaters put an end to the Homeowners Association and the homeowners it represents. God responds and says, I see your effort and the progress you and your sons are making. But what's most important to me is your faith. I am pleased with the work you're doing. You're right on schedule. Later in the timeline, Noah provides an update. Lord God, the boys are older than 100 years now, and I just celebrated my 600th birthday. But I can finally say we're finished building the ark. We spent the past 3 months sealing it with pitch, inside and out, so it doesn't leak. My only concern at this point is how we're going to seal the main entry door through which all the animals will enter. That giant hole in the side of the boat is an open invitation for water to come in and sink us. God reassures him, saying, You're right on time. And don't worry about the door or any other spot on the ark that might not be watertight. I am going to seal you in and keep the water out. 2 days after Noah and his sons put the finishing touches on the ark, Noah's next-door neighbor reaches out. For the purposes of our discussion, let's call this neighbor Slokus. He says, Hey, OMG, what's with this stampede of animals running past my house? This neighborhood is going to the dogs and the baboons and wildebeests and jackals and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! But Noah is cool as a fan. He says, Hey, don't sweat it. They're with me. Just stay inside your house. They won't bother you. Slokus, who has been sick of Noah and the strange antics he's been up to for the past 100 years, says, Figures. I should have known it had something to do with you and your amazing dry land wonder boat, weirdo. 1 week after the ark's completion, there's a dramatic change in the weather. Slokus says, Look at all this rain. It's coming down in sheets. Hey, Noah, if this keeps up, your wonder boat might just pick up and float away. 24 hours after Noah and his family entered the ark, God shuts them in. And here comes Slokus, still lashing out at a world he doesn't understand and forces beyond his control. Noah, I know you can hear me over the monkey screeching, the elephants trumpeting, and the grizzly bears growling, the lions roaring, and the dogs barking. The least you could have done was save a brother a spot on your wonder boat. Now you're floating away like you're better than everybody else. Man, I hope your vessel gets a hole in it and you have to swim just like everybody down here dealing with all this flooding. We're up to our necks in water and you're going on a cruise? You ought to be ashamed. Later that day, Slokus draws his last breath. Hours of desperate dog paddling having left him cold, hungry, and utterly spent. Noah! No! He sinks beneath the surface as the flood claims him. His body drifts in the murky waters until it comes to rest on the very spot where Noah's Ark once stood. After 40 days and 40 nights of torrential rain that raises the water level higher than the tallest mountain peaks, the sun finally comes out. Noah gives his family a weather report. The rain has stopped, y'all, and the clouds have parted. But we're still adrift. When the ark finally comes to rest on solid ground, that'll be our sign. The floodwaters are retreating, returning to the rivers and the lakes that they're used to. And Noah cracks himself up with this observation. Question, how many people besides me can say they've gotten up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom and stepped in hippopotamus poop on the way back to bed.